President Trump won in 2016 in part by flipping 3 states that had picked a Democrat for president for more than 30 years. We're, of course, talking about Pennsylvania, but we're also talking about Wisconsin and Michigan. In Pennsylvania, take a look here. Trump won by just more than 44,000 votes. In Wisconsin, it was more than 22,000 votes. In Michigan, the president won by a razor-thin margin of about 10,000 votes. You add up all of those folks, that wouldn't even come close to filling the big house at the University of Michigan for a Saturday afternoon game. Let's check in with our reporters in those states. NBC's Cal Perry is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Steve Patterson in Detroit, Michigan. But we start with MSNBC senior national correspondent Chris Jansen. Chris is in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, and this is ground zero for exactly those voters you're talking about, the ones that flipped from Democrat to Donald Trump, white working class men, union voters. I am in Lackawanna County, which shocked everybody when Donald Trump kept this deeply blue area close. Next door, where you just saw Kamala Harris land in Luzerne County, it was an absolute blowout. People could not believe how many voters Donald Trump was able to turn. These folks are the people that they hope will help turn it back. These are union members who have been going door to door in neighborhoods like this. We'll let you go and do your thing. Go ahead. They've been knocking on literally thousands of doors for unions in this area. Eric Schubert has been going door to door with some of them. Let me ask you, because you know how many of your fellow union members flipped to Donald Trump last time. When they tell you they're thinking about voting for him again, what's your argument?
Well, the argument is like, as public sector employees, we already got hit hard. With the Janus case, that made members, we don't even have to represent, they don't have to belong to the union, and we still got to represent them. I mean, our members during this whole time, this whole COVID, have been essential employees. They've been there on the front lines, meaning correction officers, nurses, transportation. We've been out in the front line.
Do you feel like you're getting through to those folks?
Well, we're trying to get through to them about, the HEROES Act. The HEROES Act was passed in May in the House, and, nothing is coming back to these essential workers. And when you put it to that way, I mean, they're starting to understand. But hopefully we can get out to them in that part of it. 24
hours or less to go. Thank you so much. I'll let you go and knock on doors. Let me tell you why it's so particularly important here, Craig. And that is because unlike most of the battleground states where the majority of votes have already been cast, not the case here. The majority of votes are going to be cast tomorrow. So they're going to be knocking on doors of their fellow union members who they know have not voted. Up until the last minute, I talked to Bob Casey, who probably knows this place better than anybody as the senator. He tells me all Joe Biden has to do is keep it closer. He's not going to hit Obama numbers, but he has to keep it closer here in Lackawanna and in Luzerne County than Hillary Clinton was able to 4 years ago. Now let me pass it on to my friend Cal Perry, who is in Milwaukee. Cal?
Hey, Chris, thank you very much. Obviously, Democrats remember what happened 4 years ago, less than 25,000 votes, the margin in a Donald Trump victory. And so they vowed to take it more seriously. Joe Biden has been here 3 times in his general election campaign. Now, this is happening in a hot zone during a pandemic, and we've seen voting numbers through the roof. More than 1.8 million people have already voted in this state, 500,000 in person, 1.2 mail-in. And the game is simple for Democrats. Run the numbers up in places like Milwaukee and in Madison. For the president, it's about those rural areas, as it is across the country. Democrats hoping that those early voting numbers, an indication of the enthusiasm, but a word of caution and of warning, we probably won't have results here in Wisconsin until Wednesday. One of those reasons in the city of Milwaukee, where we expect very high voting numbers, they count those early votes separately. Now over to my colleague Steve Patterson in Michigan.
Cal, good morning from my home state of Michigan, my home city of Detroit, in a place that is very central to the democratic process right now. This is the basement of the TCF Center in downtown Detroit. Take a look at this. Already hundreds of poll workers processing these early absentee ballots. And I say processing and not tabulating and not counting because that is a process that doesn't happen until tomorrow morning. So it is likely that we will not get the full picture of what happens in the state of Michigan until the end of the week. But everybody, Democrats, are still haunted by the specter of what happened here in 2016. You want to talk about razor-thin margins? 2-3% was the difference between Trump and Clinton in that election. So there is a renewed emphasis on shoring up those city centers where there is a big blue block. Here in Detroit, everybody knows what's going to happen. This is 80% black, this city. You're going to see more than 90% for Joe Biden when those votes are tabulated. The question is, will Detroiters come out and vote? Already the city clerk raising the red flag here. She's now projecting about a 50% turnout overall. That's less than what happened in 2008. It's less than what happened in 2012. It's just slightly over what happened in 2016. So there is a huge emphasis on getting out the black vote, particularly young black males, which is a tall hill to climb when you're factoring in the fact that coronavirus is ravaging this state, it's ravaging this city, and it's ravaging the black community, which is right here in Metro Detroit. Send it back to you, Craig.
All right, Steve Patterson with an up-close look at democracy in action there. Good to see so many volunteers in the basement there. Steve, thank you. Chris, thank you. Cal, thank you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.